Hello, Twitch. How you doing, people who watch this on YouTube? We are doing an impromptu D&D session. Why? Because the guys, for some reason, all got online this morning and said, "Hey, we want to play D&D," so I got told I had to do it. Assumedly, I think Fuka will be speaking, but he may stay in chat, will be unfortunate. Wolf will also be joining us shortly. Of course, Fraz is here playing as Machina.
But
He's dying in the background. And yes, the party is all together for once. Alright, let me just get Twitch updated so that way you have the right extension marked up. There we go. It should refresh here any moment. Let me make sure it is. So if you're tuning in, again, this is D&D with Grim Legacy impromptu session for something for us to do because I'm bored and have no classes yet or for a little while. So here we are. All right. And of course, I don't have a battle map set up this time because I wasn't expecting to do today's episode. I have one set up for this Saturday. All right. So last time we left off, the party managed to basically beat down an ancient green dragon, a group of green dragon younglings and adults, and dominate those who were left. Upon this happening, of course, they had managed to also find Snicknesh in the hut beforehand, freeing him from his internal prison, as well as saving Zaya Ravensong's father, Blenton Silversong, or not father, grandfather, Blenton Silversong, managing to protect them for the time being. The party would, of course, abandon him there, along with the corpse that would eventually disappear, and thus we come back to the party with Snicknesh having been made it back or walked back to his party and group, Machina returning back in the city where Agent A was, and the green Cerberus dog shrinking down to a small size. The house is still blown to smithereens. There is still a laughing chair in the background, and that is where we begin. What would you guys like to do? There are no monsters around at this point. Nothing seems to be going on. The city has fallen eerily silent. We can't hear you, Fuka.
Wow.
Oh, there you go.
Hi.
Hi.
Um, no green hags walking about?
Nope, nothing seems to be around you guys anymore, minus the bodies you've left behind, the splatter mark of the frog that Snicknesh kind of smushed.
Where's the old man?
The old man has vanished.
Um, hmm.
is the dog around?
Which one? There are two dogs.
The the Cerberus dog. Is it the Cerberus?
Yes, it is still around. It has shrunk back down to a tiny size where it's only a single head once again.
Right. Oh yeah, the axe that Snicknesh got from the dragon.
Yes, Snicknesh did get an axe from the dragon, to which he does now have it in his inventory.
Can I have it?
Snicknesh.
Can I have it?
Snicknesh refuses.
Can I borrow?
Snicknesh contemplates and says, "Okay."
I'm gonna use what's it called again? Grim Psychometry on the thing.
Oh, all right. Let me read through it real quick just to see how much detail I have to get for you. I'm pretty familiar with the spell at this point, but I always like to mess with my players as much as possible, as we know. Just scrolling down to find it, because it's in your feeds. There it is. What's
There
for
he
sure
is.
first? Who? What? Oh, Wolf's typing. I'm just a few minutes. I'm looking at cars. Oh, okay. Okay, so You spend learn vague details about its past. With a wisdom check, you can target an object with this feature only once. Okay, so the object has to make or you have to make a wisdom check.
Yep.
All right, go ahead and give me a wisdom check. See what you get. And
That is wisdom check, right?
Yep.
16 plus 1.
Okay. And here, I'm going to do something real quick. Forewarning, you're all about to be moved. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah.
Let me
Like
move you
on.
down into the proper chat. There we go.
Hello?
That way it's locked. So
Why are
no
we
one.
here? Why aren't we in the other server?
No,
Because I can't
there's
move from server to server. Sorry, Fuka.
Alright.
What'd you say, Fuka?
stragglers.
Yeah. But this way no one can join and it's just easier. I mean, you can type your stuff in the other server, but that way when we're looking at stuff or we're talking. But all right. So, actually, in fact, you know what? Move over to that general chat. It's just going to be easier. Let's move to that server, please. All right. And assuming Fuka bounces over here. There we go. Hi. Okay, now we're good. All right, now that we got everyone in the right place on the right server, so that way everything's typed over here. Okay, let me go ahead and give me your wisdom. What'd you roll?
Fuck. I'm pretty sure it was 16?
16. All right, let me
Uh,
PM you.
17.
All right, let me PM you and not or not Fuka. Give me a moment. I just want to remind myself of the lore as I pull up the notes I have on every single item and that you guys could possibly come about that I've ever given you. All right. As I type quickly. Okay. All right. There you go. Fuck.
Okay, that's neat. And I'm just gonna give the axe back to Stickman.
All right. As you hand the axe back, Snicknish, you now have your vicious great axe back. Congrats. Snicknish just starts laying down and falling asleep. It is midday at this point, and nothing seems to be going on as the day has gotten quiet.
I'm most likely just going to be walking about within the city. Well, within parameters of the hut.
Pull your mic a little closer to your mouth, and you said you're going to be looking around the hut.
I'm going to be walking outside
Mhm.
towards the city, but within parameters of the hut.
Okay. All right. I'll come to you here in a moment. And Machina, what do you plan to do?
Hmm. I'm just gonna explore the place then. It's a small, what is this called? Village?
No, this is the capital city of the Tiefling Empire.
Oh shit. Yeah, I'm gonna explore while not actually straying too far.
So walking alongside Agent A, I assume.
Much.
Okay. Please, both of you give me investigation checks to see what you can find. Snicknesh is now asleep. He has the two dogs are cuddled up right on top of him. As I imagine,
It's
he just flops face first onto the ground and starts snoring.
Yeah.
16. 17 minus 1.
17. All right, Agent
No,
A.
16.
I got 16.
16 as well. Okay. As you look around, many of the buildings seem to be unlike the one you're standing in. Seem to be made of mostly stone. Some fancier than others, but most of them look to have been kind of gutted and torn up. With many of them having plants now growing inside of them, and what looks to be pieces of what you imagine is vegetation from a swamp. Many of them seem to give off muskier smells, and a few here and there you see small little nests of hay in different corners. Otherwise, there's nothing really that interesting about the buildings themselves. There are no bodies that you can see, and no items of specific value inside.
No people either.
That is correct.
Can we own this place?
No.
Alright. You're not the boss of me.
Do you want another coup d'etat?
All we need is have someone else that's much more trustworthy.
I mean, Zilpip was running a town and he got coup d'etat by an advisor,
It
no
wasn't
less.
running town. It was mostly X.
Walking about, you don't see much. There's a green hag that seems to be sitting about as you guys further explore into the town. Going only about a couple streets down, you manage to see an older green hag just sitting at a chair, peacefully tossing pieces of bread to what looks to be very large um, iron creatures of some sort. You've never seen these before.
A coup?
A green hag.
No, do they coup? I'm
No,
talking about the iron ship.
they do
No?
not. As you look at them, they appear. I'm just trying to pull up the picture. Oh, it won't let me pull up the picture. Damn it. As you look at them, they seem to put. There we go. All right. They seem to be made look like somewhat of a house cat, but much larger. Both of are all 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of them seem to be, about roughly 8 feet long and about 2 to 3 feet wide. They're pretty big creatures, with iron scales going back down their back, claws made of metal, no eyes but large teeth, and then giant spikes on their back, also made of metal. The amalgamation
Did
seem to be huddling around this hag.
did they notice us?
The hag seems to have peers up to you in your general direction once, but then seems to go back to feeding them.
He seems harmless enough.
You can go first.
What? No, I actually didn't hear what you said.
You can go first.
Oh. See,
What?
Yes.
what time is it?
It's about midday.
Mid-afternoon? Ma'am.
Oh, Sonny, what can I do for you? As she looks up at you with like really brown teeth, warts on her face, a long green nose, her skin kind of a paler green, her hair tossed up in knots and looking more like seaweed than actual hair. Her eyes glowing golden. She just tends to smile with a big, broad smile.
So, mostly information. I'm just wondering what happened.
Two? She looks at you kind of confused. What are you referring to, young man?
Well, there's no one here apart from
Ah, you must be referring to where the rest of my coven has gone. Yes,
that the other the
mo-
ones who live
most of
these.
those who have retreated back to serve the god emperor Sebel, as many of us were contracted to serve under him in exchange for protection from the tieflings.
What are you doing here then and not joining?
I am too old to deal with that these days. I've only arrived recently. As she kind
Hmm.
of starts to stand up. She stands about 5 feet tall with her long, gnarled cane in her hand. As you start to get a better look at her clothing, being kind of all torn and broken up, much of it patched together with what looks to be different pieces of some sort of plants from the sea.
Would you like me to sew that for you? Like, I. Not to be like a diva or anything, but just as a touch up for you.
Oh no, I'm fine, you little lady. I'm completely okay. Thank you
Please,
though.
I insist.
I truly am fine. I don't feel like having any of this fixed, as these are just old robes, and my time is almost at an end anyways. It won't be a matter soon.
So, can you tell me about these animals you're feeding?
Oh, these are some of the. An old wizard had come by my swamps many years ago. It's probably been a millennium now. And had set up a tower and started working to create something to protect his tower, as many young adventurers such as yourselves would come and attack him and try and steal the treasures he had collected over the many years. So these creatures were left, or he built and designed, but I do not know their name personally. But when he was finally slain, the creatures were spared by the adventurers that did it, and I took ownership of them, as I didn't want to see these poor things left out in the cold to rust.
You said that your time is almost going to be out. What's going to happen to them at that point?
The poor creatures will return back to the tower to protect it, as their master shall have returned by then, I hope.
Ah.
May
So,
I
who
ask?
is their master?
I do not know his name, I'm sorry to tell you.
Do you know what kind of person he is?
From what I can tell, I guess a magic caster of some sort. He has managed many years to collect items of value, as he was loved to dig in the dirt and discover creations long lost to the world.
Oh, you were going to say something, Agent Nick?
May I ask, before I was rudely interrupted, uh, what are the, what are they exactly?
I do not know their name.
D do you mind if I pet one?
I do not recommend it. The last young man who tried to got their hand bit off. These creatures are somewhat dangerous.
Do they look at us with hostility?
They, at this point, seem to be all focusing down on what she was dropping for them.
I just,
What is she dropping for them?
Give me a perception check, Machina.
Uh, 12, perception 18.
It looks to be chunks of something very fleshy and bloody.
Alright, not a good thing then.
alright, then.
It's about this time you both notice there's a bag on her, kind of on her midriff, that seems to be latched onto a belt that seems to be kind of dripping with what looks to be a red blood.
Don't ask. Do not ask. Don't ask her
She
about that.
she looks to you two and kind of nods and smiles and says, "Well, if you don't need me anymore, dearies, I'm gonna head on my way. I'm hoping to return back to my swamp in my hut so that I may spend my last few days relaxing in the comfort of my home territories. That
Yeah.
my daughter's gone long missing, so there's nothing I can really do about that at this point."
May I ask of your name?
I would give it, but in my experience, those who serve the coven cannot give out our names because they can be used against us. So I'm sorry if I do not offer. However, if you do see my daughter, she is a rat collector. She loves to collect rats, but she seems to have disappeared at some point, last I saw, after some giant crystal alligator looking thing decided to attack the city.
Hmm.
But he seems to have angered the dragons enough, and they have returned back to their main area, back in the capital of the town. And thus I shall continue my work. And she starts to
Uh,
kind of walk off, tapping her little gnarled walking stick down as she heads down an alleyway with the creatures following right behind her.
I'm gonna knit a shawl.
You're gonna what?
Just an I'm going to knit a shawl, if you know what that is.
Mm-mm.
It's basically like the Russian grandmas use as
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, those things.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna call out to her and just hand it to no, nope, and then just walk away. I don't care.
She just takes it and puts it in the bag with blood and continues walking.
Alright, then that's cool.
As the creatures follow her one by one, kind of staring up at you lot. Alright.
I
Wait,
yeah, I wave.
The creatures don't seem to react. But as they continue to follow out one by one, she seems to be heading towards the other side of the city. And as she disappears around a corner with her group of what you assume is some sort of dog-like creature or metallic dog-like creature, you stop suddenly hearing anything of the clanging from the metal as it would hit the ground.
Moving on.
All right. Continuing your search around the city, you can see off in the distance after a few minutes that there seems to be a very large looking hole gaping out of the center tower in the center of the city, where from this distance you really can't tell the extent of the damage, but that's where you assume at this point that the green dragon returned to, as you can kind of see that there are green hags going up towards heading towards that general direction, alongside what looks to be wormlings as well as a few zombies here and there that seem to be carrying different items of sorts, some boxes, some healing potions, you're assuming, as they come in a red liquid in a bottle, and other such items.
I silently curse at myself, saying he should have killed every single one.
Alright. As you continue to search about, nothing else seems to be that remarkable in the few blocks you guys managed to walk around. Snicknesh, it can still be heard snoring off in the distance, and the city is overall quiet.
How fucking loud is this damn dragon?
still
Snicknesh
asleep?
is very loud.
Mm,
Long rest?
Okay. So as Machina returns to the little hut, passing out, the
I'm just
mimic chair still
gonna use
continues to
searching.
laugh. Ajane, sorry.
I'm just gonna still continue to wander.
Alright, how far out are you going to wander?
A little bit farther, probably to the center of the town.
Okay. Give me another investigation check.
18.
Okay. As you continue to wander, coming to the center of the town, you find another blop of what looks to be some sort of green ooze on the ground that's melting the bricks. You can see where the tower that Snicknesh was slammed into earlier had crumbled. You see the dent in the ground where the dragon had tried to crush him under his back. The well that was originally there seems to be have been caved in and crushed. A few green hag corpses laying about. Otherwise, there's nothing very remarkable still. Many of the green hags continue off doing what they were doing as they head towards the center of the city.
I'm going to stealthily fall into the center of the
Roll stealth.
I'm proficient at this.
I hope so.
I have a plus 14. The fuck?
Good to hear.
You're gonna need it. I'm
12
pretty sure
plus
dragons have
14,
blind
that's
sight
26.
or
Okay.
blind.
26. Got it. Give me a moment. Let me just pull up something. All right. So as you begin to look on, checking to see what's going on. Just give me a moment. I am doing something. Alright. You see hags of all kinds. Sea hags, anise hags, green, dusk, all colors of the rainbow. As you continue your little jaunt through. Getting to the center of the town, you can see that there are many interesting hag walking about with different items of value. each carrying something or other, trying to get it to the center or get to the tower itself as quickly as they can. As they do so, they seem to. A couple of them seem to notice you on occasion, but none seem to pay you really any heed as they look you straight in the eyes. Continuing on, getting to the center keep, finally arriving there, you notice that there is a dead young green dragon corpse laying at the base of the stairs. You recognize this dragon as the one you had dominated earlier.
Oof.
It looks to have massive claw marks in it. Its wings have been torn off what looks to be very violently as there are chunks missing from the body. And its entire eye, or both entire eyes, seem to have been pulled out and scratched. You can see as the hags enter into the building, it seems that the wormlings are all huddling around a very large, ancient green dragon that you recognize as the one who Snicknesh had been fighting, as the axe wound in its head is still bleeding. As the door closes,
Genocide.
as the door
Gen-
closes back up, the hags continue going about their business inside, but you can see from what looks like a lot of gold, a lot of very sparkly items you've never seen the make of before, having never visited the TV lands before. But you get a look before the door fully closes and see that there are also many portraits, some with golden frames, some with glowing items or eyes. Many a valuable seem to be in around that green dragon.
I know what you're trying to do.
Do
I
you?
fucking hate you for trying to lure me with cool with jewelry. Not even jewelry, just magical weapons. Fuck
As
you.
you look on, continuing to watch, the items that catch your eye that you can recognize is a bolt of electrum cloth set with a spinal. You approximate around 2,500 GP, around 43,000 gold coins roughly, about 26,000 if you had to give a rough estimate of platinum coins. Some dragon scale cloaks, electrum plate armor, some gold breastplates, some fine leather tabards inlaid with silver, gilded wooden jars inlaid with silver, some small tapestries threaded with silver, a lot of brass amphora set with topaz, some golden bound books set with topaz, some spell scrolls, and what looks to be about 7 potion bottles that are rather large that catch your eye, as well as a staff that catches your attention.
Not the thing I'm looking for.
That is correct.
Oh.
But
'Cause the last time
you'd
I
guess that the hull that this dragon has is somewhere around almost about 75,000 platinum pieces.
silver can make me those. Uh,
I'm just saying in worth.
I know. I can ruin the economy like this. No, I can't do that.
The staff, as you get a closer look from your distance, is made in the shape of a blue lightning bolt that seems to be almost frozen as you look at it. It has a small leather band at the top that you can recognize a green crystal that seems to be kind of jingling on it. That's about all you catch from the staff itself. What would you like to do, Agent A?
This is I don't want to go this out alone. And having that thing literally tear me to shreds, but
Mhm. Yeah, but
no, there is no but. No, I'm not going to be tempted. I'm going to turn around
all right.
and go back.
Okay, returning back, you see a few green hags, a few other hags walking about. Nothing that seems to be out of the ordinary. Returning, you
Light
see,
waves.
huh?
I give them waves. Minding my own business.
They don't seem to wave back, but they don't seem to bother you either. As you return, you can again start to hear the roaring of Snicknesh's snores in the background. Machina kind of quietly relaxing as you see him in the doorway. The laughing chair seems to have quieted down. And the room is generally otherwise seems to be pleasantly uncompromised as the two dogs continue to sleep on top of Snicknesh's back.
How many hours has it been?
Only about an hour.
Alright. I'm going to kneel down towards McNash's ear if I can, and whisper, I found the ancient green dragon.
Snicknesh, as you're dreaming of a magnificent fight with four ancient dragons, as you single-handedly take them on, blowing through them, you
It's not like
suddenly,
need to
huh?
take a long rest, you know.
You
It's not like
su-
we don't need to take a long rest, you know.
Oh yeah, you don't.
you suddenly hear the whispers that the ancient dragon's horde has been founded. What do
And he
you?
said that you are inferior to him.
As the voice continues telling you that the ancient green dragon that you fought earlier just was saying that you were inferior.
Not even saying it, boasting about it.
Snicknesh grumbly wakes up. I'll eat you, go away, and then goes back
What?
to snoring.
I being on it.
Snicknesh, please give me an insight check. Agent A, give me a deception check.
Oh, I'm proficient at this. Wait, persuasion? Or deception.
Deception. Because you're telling him a lie.
32.
Snicknesh, you believe that what Agent A is saying. You believe that the Green Dragon is boasting about your inferiority. What you choose to do with this information is up to you.
What? I didn't do anything.
Snicknesh goes back to sleep after telling Agent A silence Tiny One. Alright, as Snicknesh begins to snore once more, Machina completely knocked out in the corner himself. What do you wish to do, Agent A?
Yeah, fuck it. I'll just take a long.
Alright, as you go to sit down and start to find yourself drifting off, you realize something you're sitting on feels weird as you sit down on the wooden floor to lean up against the wall and kind of relax your eyes. The floor kind of moves with the underneath you. Only slightly as you feel yourself sit down fully and get comfortable. It seems to move from side to side with the slightest change of position of your hips.
I instantly stand up and look down.
As you look down, you notice that the wood seems to be a little off, and there seems to be what looks to be an imprinted piece of wood that is carved in going into almost a horseshoe shape compared to the rest of the wood, which is basically going horizontal.
I guess I'll use my scimitar and see if I can open it.
Okay, give me a fuck. Let's do a sleight of hand for this one. The delicateness here.
20, not nat.
Okay, as you dig your scimitar into where the horseshoe-styled handle, as you realize it is, you manage to dig it out and pull on it, opening up a secret passage into what looks to be a cobblestone walkway down below.
You are not letting me have this long rest, are
Oh, I mean, you can go to sleep. I just, now you've seen this.
I'm going to down some
Hi, Wolf.
potion,
What's
two
up?
potions of greater healing. Since
Oh,
I'm gonna be here for a while.
all right. As you drink your potions and head down, we'll come back to you in a bit. Zilpip,
What's up?
as you come back to standing in your dimension, your party has been gone for a few days now. You know where they're at in their general direction, but you have no idea what they've been up to. You can feel that Piplis is at this point finally past the Yuan Ti lands and about another week's journey away from finally arriving to where you were at last in the Drafican territories up north.
Gotcha. And where's my party?
From what you can tell, they seem to be in the Tiefling lands. From your experience as a child, having traveled with your mother a lot, you recognize the location to be the capital of the Tiefling territories.
Good place or bad place?
Well, when you were younger, it was a place of science, intrigue, of magic, and much study. Many slaves were sold there from the Tiefling Empire. Many noble houses congregated in this area. It was very wealthy, and the markets always seemed very lively in your experience.
Cool. Well, I'm only 45. How much can change? Oh
Yeah,
man. Okay. Yeah, I know.
yeah.
I know. I know. Okay.
Agent A in the background, you can hear him speaking to Snicknish, telling Snicknish that he's not his parent off in the distance. So you feel awkward as
Science,
you hear this.
magic, what's the difference?
Yeah, right.
So I sense are they all in the
Mhm.
Tiefling lands?
Correct.
And are they all together?
Yes, currently.
Okay. Cool. Um and how much progress have I gotten through just practicing for a few days?
On the what you were talking about, or the periodic table?
Uh, both.
For the periodic table, you've finally managed to get an understanding of most of the elements, minus about 42 of them, which you have an understanding of what they are. You're still trying to see if there's any mention of them in any records as you're doing research. For your chaos magic, you managed to get a little bit better at it, but it's still very costly as you find yourself extremely exhausted after each individual act.
Okay. Exhausted,
As in,
like
you lose
exhaustion
your top
points?
tier. You lose your 8th and 9th spell slots completely for after each casting. The more advanced you get.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Hmm. All right. I'm going to plane shift
hmm
to the ground below where Piplis is at.
As you teleport, you find yourself very wet.
Screw you.
Looking down at down below you, there's sand and there's water all around you. Looking
Oh
up,
man,
you
I thought
can
you were gonna.
barely see the sunlight, as there's almost 100 feet of water between you and the top. As you start to realize you can't breathe.
You're the worst. You're actually the worst.
Due to the heavy equipment you wear, you can't seem to manage to swim up, as it is too heavy for you to lift. In panic, you're going to lose 6 health points, which will continue every round.
That's not how drowning works.
That's how the DM says it works, so shut up.
He should have some time before he actually gets to die, take
I'm
damage
not
from
killing
it.
him, don't worry. But yes, you find yourself underwater. As you look around, there are some very beautiful rainbow fish that seem to swim right past you.
I mean, I will remind you, right? I I do have a mask on that
I know.
filters out everything that ain't air.
Problem is, there's no air.
I know.
You are suffocating currently. Underwater.
Sure. I didn't just breathe out my entire oxygen supply right before I plane shifted.
As you look up, you realize that the DM doesn't give a
Whatever.
shit
Alright.
and continues on with the journey. You can either deal with it, or you can shut up and I can go back to Fuka. Your choice.
You're the worst. You're actually the worst.
I am challenging.
That's one word for it. Okay.
In much the same way that special children are challenged.
In the same way that Machina is gonna get eaten by a mimic here in a minute if he doesn't shut up.
Alright.
Alright.
Let's see.
As you do look up, again the sunlight is darkening down at this depth. The sand seems almost clear. The water seems very comfortable in a warm sense as you can feel it, or that's your own urine as you realize you are stuck in the middle of the ocean, far
You
below
can't make me pee.
sea
Only I
level.
can make me pee.
Wait, weren't you paralyzed before and you actually made yourself piss? Right.
Yes, that's what he was using his telekinetics on before.
Yep.
There was a whole storyline behind that we didn't record, so
Yep. I'm going to
drown.
look at the definition of this spell real quick. Cool.
Mhm.
I am going to take out my rope,
Mhm.
just a
My
little bit of
di-
rope,
Is that what you call
and
it now?
tie it around my waist.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast rope trick on it.
The rope starts dancing.
No,
it
that's
does
not what
not.
a road trick does.
I know, but it was worth a shot.
Yep.
It starts
The
dancing to
rope
Arabian music.
rises 60
Uh-huh.
feet, or it rises into the air until the whole rope hangs perpendicular. And based on the definition of this spell, it rises into the air. So it's going to rise
As
till
it,
it reaches air.
as it begins to rise, it makes it about 60 feet up. Using the bubbles from your mask that are blowing out, it has therefore fulfilled the spell and risen.
I
Oh my
cast it
fucking
again.
god.
You're the worst.
It continues to follow the bubbles, chasing after them until finally reaching the tip. Finally, the tip touches out of the ocean. You are still dangling about 60 feet below, but it has
No.
officially reached the air.
I did specify a short length of rope.
Hmm.
And it does say until it.
Sorry, 50 feet, as your rope is 50 feet long. Yes? Yes, so Pip.
Honestly, if you're just gonna not make my character do what I'm saying my character does.
God, relax. But the spell is specific to touching air, so that is why I'm actually doing that. Because rope trick, according to what the website says on this,
Until the whole rope.
is it the whole rope? Let me make sure. Wait, what the hell? Wait, where do you have rope? Oh, second level. Wow.
One end
There
of
we
the
go.
rope. Yep.
Up to one end of the rope, then rises into the air until the. Oh, okay, fair enough. All right, so until perpendicular to the ground. All right. As the rope continues to rise, you finally manage to dangle yourself like a fish on a hook. Out of the water, looking straight up, you see the flying. I believe it was a rock, is what you had him riding in, or something of that sort.
Vrock.
Rock,
Actually.
that's right. Flying in the air. That sees you, it stops and continues just to flap there.
Zilpip, you splash.
It is ineffective. And a pimple shark is now staring at you, wondering what the hell is going on.
A what?
A shark with a lot of yellow barnacles on its face as you look down. And a lot of
Delightful.
teeth.
Very delightful. Yeah, I'm going to telepathically command it to come down with Piplis, and
Oh, okay.
do not drop him.
I thought you were referring to the pimple shark. I was about to say, wait, come down. All right, let's do this.
No.
As the rock drops to grab the rope, coming down and catching the rope in the air, what's the next command you're giving it?
Oh, I don't want it to grab the rope.
Oh, I figured that. All right, as the creature drops down to where you are,
Just hover about at my height.
looking down at the pimple shark seems to now be following and circling around you as well as the rock.
It's doing a holding pattern.
You remember your
mean-
studies in college of what these pimple sharks were known for? One bite was said to lead to a mortal gaining leprosy, and you realize why they are so dangerous.
Why are they dangerous?
Okay, whatever.
And its name's Bruce, if anybody's wondering.
Of course it is. The Varrock is just gonna screech at it.
The pimple shark swims away.
And yeah. I'm going to grab on to Piplis's stone body. I'm not
Mhm.
trying to carry him, but I'm just grabbing a hold while the Varrock is still carrying him. And I am going to cast my teleportation spell.
Okay, where are you teleporting to?
Machina.
Okay, we need to specify a lot more because where?
Well, I assume not inside Machina. That's not really Zilpip's style.
Yes, not.
Because then I'd be dead.
Above,
Yeah.
probably. Landing on him is acceptable, but you know.
No, just like a foot to the right.
All right.
Look at the sky.
If
It's a
it
bird. Yeah, it's a
As,
bird.
as
if it
Zilpip,
ends up in a wall, I take like what 6 force
Yeah,
damage.
yeah, basically.
and
But
get
as
shunted
Sure was
out.
6.
as Zilpip and Piplu's suddenly teleport, the Varrock vanishing in the mayhem, Zilpip finds himself with rope attached to him, still floating somewhat in the air, right above what looks to be a hatch that leads down into a little cobblestoned underground pathway. You can see Machina off to your left a little bit. You see Snicknesh laying on the ground with 2 dogs laying on top, one a golden retriever and the other a small green, what looks to be a fluffy wiener dog. Snicknesh is snoring rather loudly, and you sense a lot of magic everywhere. Oh, and also
Let's
you
dash
notice that
on.
there's a laughing chair beside you.
A laughing chair, huh?
Yes, a chair with a mouth that just continues to laugh. Everyone seems to be ignoring it.
Are we killing the mimic, guys? What's going on here?
No, you can just leave it. It doesn't do anything but laugh.
It continues to cackle.
See?
You hear
Okay.
you hear it say out loud, pontification.
Aw, shit.
I'm kidding.
Oh, nice.
No.
No, I love this thing.
Snicknesh snores loudly. One of the dogs kind of moves and adjusts and kicks Snicknesh in the head as it adjusts itself on top of his back. Snicknesh realizes he spelt snore wrong.
All right.
Sorry. To be fair, I think it also misspelled DM. That's also true. He has 8 intelligence.
He should know how to spell, damn it. 6 intelligence is when you can't even speak, or 3 intelligence is when you can't even speak or spell. You've got 8. You're almost 3 times that. Shut up. All right. You notice that Agent A is missing. That the roof of this building has been blown off. Much of the walls have kind of crumbled or been squished out, widened. And there, as you look out one of the what was a window at one point, there is a splatter of what looks to be some sort of green, slimy blood with a frog leg attached to it on the concrete outside. As well as many buildings have collapsed around, looking like they were smashed into. Snicknesh also has a new axe that you recognize, that you immediately notice. That's pretty
Is
much
it
it.
not the berserker one?
That is correct. He has another axe. Great axe on him. The Berserker
Yeah,
Grex you
no, we
still
had a
see.
party last night. We had a
Okay.
wild party last night.
Yeah, looks like it. Uh, what's down the hole?
And
What is
Where
down
are
there?
we?
Welcome to the Tiefling Lands, the capital.
Why are we here?
I don't know.
Who does?
That green hag we met, but she doesn't know that much either.
Alright.
So we don't know why we're here
We don't know why we're here.
or
But
what we're doing.
there was a green dragon that we fought, an ancient one. It ran away. I don't know where it went.
So if we have no purpose for being here,
No purpose in staying here. That's also true.
Snicknesh mutters something about a stupid dragon that's gonna die soon.
Oh
Alright.
yeah,
is
and I
this
got
where the
dragon.
dragon retreated
Wait,
to?
if I shrink myself by holding something, does the thing I'm holding also get smaller?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna guys
You're
up with the fucking dragon's neck with the head attached to it. It just blew up. That's smaller.
Okay, as you pull out an adult dragon's head with a neck still attached.
Looks like a baby dragon's head.
No, it's an adult one, so I just made it small.
I mean,
Wrestled it.
if you make it huge and then let go of it and shrink, I could probably make some pretty cool weapons out of those teeth.
I'm gonna go do what he said because I didn't hear what he said. I'm just gonna do it.
He didn't hear me.
No.
No, you just got cut off.
Oh.
Alright, we're gonna come back to you guys in a moment. Agent A, as you begin exploring the tunnel, heading farther and further, you notice there are torches up on every about 10 feet. The cobblestone is rather rough. The stairs themselves seem to be made of smoother stone. As you enter in, you begin to walk through the lit caverns, and as you notice, there are what looks to be, after you get about 30 feet down underground, skulls pushed into the wall, almost look ancient at this point. And there are hundreds, if not thousands, as you start to walk around. Every about 10 feet or so, as you continue down or heading into this little cavern, you notice there are areas that are only made of the stone, where they have chunks pulled out of them, where it looks to have fancy graves sitting. Some made of wood, some marble, some gold even. All of them sealed and nothing seems to be moving. The lights continue to flicker. And it seems... Okay. He's gonna rejoin. Yes? Waiting for him to rejoin.
He's in.
I know he is, but it takes a little bit to connect. Hook, are you there?
Hello.
Come closer to your mic.
No.
Yes, because I can barely hear you. Or turn your mic up, because I've got you on
Hello.
200%. There we go. That's a little bit better.
So I'm down the steps. I see nothing but halls
Of
what is it?
skulls as
Skeleton.
pillars, and every once in a while you see every 10 feet or so you see what looks to be a two-level or two-decker of like caskets. Some made of wood, gold, silver, many materials, all of them still sealed.
What? Repeat that one more time. You kind of glitching out.
Okay. As I was saying, so as you continue down, you see pillars of skulls that seem to be kind of melded together, around the thousands of them. And every 10 feet or so in each direction, you see what looks to be two caskets pushed into a stone portion of the wall, kind of indented into it, with different color types of caskets, some made of gold, silver, wood, marble. It just depends. Each of them having a what looks to be a gold, some sort of gold plating underneath them with names on them. Most seem to have been rubbed out to the point that they've been there for so long. None of the caskets have been opened. All seem to still be sealed, and nothing seems to be moving. It is eerily quiet down there.
Going to probably cast Legend Lore on it. Yes, I'm casting Legend Lore.
Okay. Give me a moment to message you. And not wolf. There we go. All right.
And not wolf.
Almost did.
I would have liked that message.
There you go. All right. And then, as you continue looking around, you suddenly hear what sounds like voices coming back from where the house that you had left.
I'm going to.
Yes.
Hang on. I'm going to shoot up a lightning bolt up
Okay.
from the wand of light
Okay.
from Lightning Lore and see if anyone catches wind of it. No casualties if someone gets struck by it though.
Okay. So as you cast it straight up, Zilpip, you suddenly
Mm.
feel a disbursement of magic coming from that hole. That is all that happens, Agent A.
Do it again, just one more time.
Again,
Disbursement, huh?
Zilpip, you feel a disbursement of magic coming from deep within that hole. But
What
nothing
school?
else. Oh, fuck you. God damn it. Gonna make me pull up his character sheet, look up the spell. I swear you do this just...
You plane shifted me 100 feet underwater. It
Yeah, but
comes and it goes.
that was funny. This is a pain in my ass.
I feel like this is funny.
God damn it. Oh, let me find Fuka's frickin' Staff of Lightning to pull this information up. I
Lightning.
know it's a wand. Shut up.
No, it's from my cantrip, smartass.
Oh,
Tragedy plus time equals comedy.
lightning lure. Wait, oh, lightning lure. Is that what you were doing?
Yes.
All right, that is an evocation school. Are you happy, Wolf?
I am.
Zilpip suddenly finds his ass on fire, literally.
Delightful.
All right, but again, nothing seems to happen, Agent A.
Alright then, since I believe I'm here. Is there a doorway?
Continuing deeper, it looks like this goes on for miles under the city.
I'm going to leave traces. I'm just going to plop something down. What do I have in my inventory that's common? Shit, I have nothing in my inventory that's common.
Just start throwing lightning javelins. They're not worth anything.
Oh yeah, I still have my instrument. I'm going
You're going to...
Kill Mike.
I'm going to kill you. But I'm going to just what is that? What is that cantrip? The one that Magic Mouth.
Okay.
I'm gonna cantrip Magic Mouth every, I guess, 10 feet. So back to where the starting of the skulls were. I'm
Okay.
gonna cast that, saying, um, he could potentially be alive. He may be alive, and every 10 feet it's just gonna be he's something alive.
Okay. As you begin heading or walking about, continuously looking, nothing. It continues on for what looks to be far off into the distance, spreading out throughout the entire city. The only thing that seems to
Uh,
change is that on occasion you see a grate on the bottom of the floor that seems to have water rushing underneath it.
a great.
Yes, as in like iron bars
Ah, fuck, I'm in the sewers.
underneath you.
Oh, I'm in the tunnelways. Fuck. Okay. Nothing comes by. Like
Nope.
nothing. No rats. No squeaking. Nothing.
Nope, it is dead silent down there besides the loud sound of Snickness snoring off in the distance.
I am not surprised.
Seems to echo almost off the pillars.
And it still says the same thing when they cast Legend Lore on it.
Yep, same thing. But as you get further and further in, depending on how much time you spend, how much time do you plan to spend down here? Because Zilpip.
Probably about
Mhm.
45 minutes and going back.
Alright, as you finally get to about 45 minutes in, you can see far off in the distance something very shiny and sparkly in the dim light. At the very center of what looks to be what you can see that recognizes about four walls that have four different openings. There it looks to be something sparkling, very about
Ah,
at eye
shit.
level.
This is some Daenerys type shit. What the fuck?
Nope, very different. Nope.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes, but it's not that. Yes, you begin to see the life you could have had, the big strong man you could have laid with, the child that was meant to be yours,
I'm not a woman, thank you.
the child you could have adopted that would have been yours, same fucking thing. Zilpip
No,
standing
because the
beside
child
you.
isn't blood related.
Zilpip standing beside you, patting you on the back, congratulating you for being an amazing adventurer, something you know that would have never happened. After, are you going to continue or are you going to head back?
I'm gonna continue.
As you reach the center, you see what looks to be a crown at the center of the circle that seems to be what's glinting off the light.
I don't like that.
The crown continues to flash. I'm just pulling up the quest. Give me a second. There we go. As well, the crown continues to flash. You see red rubies on each of the three spikes that are carved in the shape of flames. This seems to be what was sparkling off light that is above you. That seems to be creaking in from where some stones have been kind of pushed a little bit apart, just enough to let sunlight somewhat through. It looks to be an old crown that has two holes at the front of what you assume is the front where horns could easily stick through. The second thing you notice is it's sitting upon a very large purple stone. The stone is about a foot in diameter in total and seems to flash every once in a while in a purple bright light, as if something was moving inside of it.
I'm going to pull out my pan flute and gently tap identify with it to see
Okay. On which one?
on the. I'm going to hold on to the pan flute.
Okay. Yes,
With
I
the
got
pan
that.
flute, I'm going to imbue it with identify
Yes, I
and
got that.
gently tap it on the crown.
Okay. The crown. Do you want me to just say it out loud, or do you want me to message you?
Message.
Okay.
And then after that, I'm gonna use legend lore on it as well.
Okay. Well, you really don't need to. It's going to give you the same
Oh,
answer. Yeah.
okay.
What
Okay
legend
then.
lore just gives you more vagueness to it.
Alright.
That's about really. I mean, I go into full detail, but I assume you don't care that much. So,
I do. As a matter of fact, I do. Because I want to know
well, then
if
I'm just
I'm
gonna
going to.
say it out loud because I'm not typing
Fine
this. It's gonna
then.
take me a half an hour. So the crown of the last flame was owned by the last well-known emperor of the Tiefling lands. He was called the last flame as his bloodline died out. He was the last relation of the first emperor of the Tiefling lands and the only one to still carry the same bloodline as the risen the god himself. He managed to die during the era in which he was fighting against Tabaxi, a great Tabaxi warlord who was trying to conquer the colonies, and died in defense of his homelands. He led a final charge in which the crown was upon his head. He used all of the magic he had remaining to hold the line while his troops retreated against unexpected odds where our own army.
Hodor.
Huh? What?
I said Hodor.
Yeah. Holding out against an army about 5 times the size of his own unexpectedly at the mountain pass. Due to this, he would eventually be killed during the battle while holding the line, but his troops would be able to get away safely. The Tabaxi would take it back as a piece of what you could say victory, if you will, a trophy given to that warlord who would eventually birth the current bloodline of the kings of the Tabaxi lands. It would only be regained about a year later after a rogue serving under the new Tiefling emperors managed to rescue it, but it would be entombed out of respect for the last emperor. This crown was forged by Hemescus himself during the Age of Chaos. At least that's how the lore goes. It was out of respect for the Risen and the Tieflings' ability to hold their own during the war.
God damn it. I
The
hate this.
the item is not enchanted with any curses. All it does is give you a +5 to your charisma.
Wait, you said the bloodline to the Risen, right?
Yes. It is not divine in any way, from what you can tell. There's no divine magic to it, and there's nothing else
Oh,
other than that it does.
so what I. Okay. So let me see if I can get this right. The Risen, who is currently controlling Teltlair, is.
No,
No.
that was
Wait,
a
different?
different god. The
Oh.
Risen is a different god. He is one. He is the god of the Tieflings. He is only known well in the Tiefling lands. He has nothing to do with the Lost Church.
Fine.
He rules over one of the 4 houses under the High King.
Oh, that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to. Do I really want to take this? Because if I do, some fucking Scooby Doo bullshit's gonna happen.
You can give me an Arcana check to see if there's any magic things going on, or you can call the rest of your party down to go help you out with it.
I'm gonna
Minus.
roll Arcana.
Okay. I was gonna say minus Stinknesh, who is still sleeping with dogs kicking him in the face. Snicknash, by the way, you've gotten a long rest at this point by the end of this, so you can add that. So have you, Machina.
13
Yay.
plus 4, 17.
There is no magic around this item or any traps that you recognize. However, you do realize that there's something about the crown that is off. You realize that there is some magic that is protecting its something of information about it besides what you were able to find out.
Okay then.
And you also sense a lot of magic coming off of the purple stone.
Can I
Like,
identify this purple stone?
if you have the spell slot for it.
Yes.
All right. The Amenia, here, let me pull up. The ancient Nemia stone. It's a soul stone. It's one of the few soul stones of this size. It's well known that the Tiefling emperors used to carry this as part of their weapon to capture the souls of those they killed. This was to empower them even greater in the idea that they believed by capturing the souls of the slain, they would gain their powers. Unfortunately, the Tieflings never mastered the ability to actually do so. Thus, this soul stone carries the souls of thousands of fallen from warlords, kings, and ancient beings and beasts alike. However,
Shit.
every emperor, upon their death, aside from the last flame, had put their own soul inside this stone to power it forevermore. It is supposed to be a stone of endless magic, if the rumors are to be true. Yeah. And
First things first.
mhm,
Huh? Wait,
I
no,
was
no,
gonna
no.
say,
What
and
you said?
both items are highly prized by the Tiefling lands and rulers. For the crown would crown the next emperor, and the stone itself is a sign of full divinity of whoever carries it.
First things first. Without the stone, they can't have the right to rule. Without the crown, they can't have the right to rule. You need one and the other.
Mhm.
Gotcha. So the more valuable thing has to come with me.
They both are extremely valuable. There's no
That
price
is
that's been put
true.
on either.
That is true. However, okay. If you have the stone, you're going to be gifted with unlimited magical potential, right?
Supposedly, yes, that's what the rumors state.
And with the crown, you're going to be known as the Tiefling ruler, correct?
If a tiefling wears it, yes.
Gotcha.
So yes, you could theoretically crown the next emperor with both items.
If they're only Tiefling?
Correct. A non-tiefling cannot rule over the tiefling lands.
Gotcha. So, I'm I'm going to take the Soul Stone.
Okay. That means you will have to remove the crown from it, though, because the crown is sitting atop of it. And what looks to be a
Can,
setup, almost a little pillar designed with different stones and such to hold it up.
can I roll a sleight of hand?
Sure. Just grab both, is what Snicknesh says in his dreams. As Snicknesh dreams of chewing on turkey bones. Poor Zopip and Machina can hear Snicknesh mentions this. Go ahead and roll sleight of hand.
15 plus 9.
Alright, you managed to
24.
pull the soulstone out and set the crown down without any issue. Nothing happens.
Alright.
I'll add it to your inventory after the session.
And that's it. I'm
Okay.
gonna go back.
Alright, as you return back after about another 45-minute journey, Zilpip, after catching up with Machina about everything that's happened, you finally see Agent A coming out of the cobblestone hole.
Hello.
Machina, you also see this, as Snicknesh is continuing to sleep.
Hey,
Zilpip has gone silent in contemplation about something or other.
Something or other. Let's see. I mean, yeah, Zilpip would be pretty nonchalant. Just
Okay.
what's in the hole?
Death. Lots and lots of death.
I mean,
No, I mean literally. There's like nothing but bones and then rotting corpses and then rats running all over.
find any magic down there?
Besides me casting lightning lure to catch someone's attention, no.
Cool. I'm gonna check it out. You don't mind?
Huh?
Okay.
Hey Machina,
mm,
you wanna come?
Okay. As Machina and Zilpip start to head down this hole, Snicknesh finally awakens, hungry, having not eaten in the last 5 hours. Snicknesh awakens to have 2 dogs laying on top of him. He's very warm, he's very comfy, and they're very fluffy.
I'm going to detect magic.
Okay. There is magic coming from the center, or far off, about 45-minute walk from where you're at as you enter in.
This is a 30-foot range.
Yes, I know. But given the fact of your intelligence, I'm being specific for a reason.
All right. Well, since I
Snicknesh comes down, starts chewing on bones like usual. It's an average day now.
yeah.
Looking around as you guys enter out through the cobblestones, you notice that there are many caskets. Again, all different colors, all different materials. None of them seem to have any names anymore, as the gold plate seems so old that the engravings have been kind of rubbed off at this point. Much of the stone, or much of the pillars that have skulls are made of blackened skulls that seem to have, again, been very old, have been here for a very long time.
Gotcha. I am going to. Yeah, it's not worth the 45-minute walk. I'll head back up.
All right, Machina.
I'm gonna follow Zilpha back.
All right, as you guys head back up, you see Ajane sitting in the room with Snicknesh, who is now still, kind of stomach growling angrily.
All right. I am going to
Get eaten by
summon
Snicknesh.
Frojin.
Uh-huh. Frojin appears in a dust of blue smoke.
What's up? Would you mind dispelling this magic for me? And I kind of show her Piplis.
She
who is
looks
stone right now.
and smacks him a hard pimp hand to the face, and suddenly the stone starts breaking apart. She nods and then disappears again in a puff of smoke as Snicknesh de-stones. Or as Piplis de-stones. Apologies.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'll summon her one more time.
She come back in a puff of smoke looking irritated.
As Piplis de-stones, he is profusely bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
And I will ask her to, please heal him.
I got potions, but alright.
She
fine.
pulls out a little vial, slathers it, opens up the contents of this purple-like juice, rubs it onto her hand, and then smacks Piplis again as hard as she can, leaving a very strong bruise, and then disappears.
I meant with the spell.
And then disappears as Piplis is back to full
I
HP.
summon her back.
She comes back, looking at you. Now she's
Wait,
furious.
he's at full HP?
Correct.
Oh, never mind.
She looks at you, flips you off, and vanishes again. She's not happy. And that, with the party having come together once more in the Tiefling lands, in the capital city, in this blown-up hut, with the great god dragon Sabel injured, we shall come back next time for D&D with the party of the Grim Legacy. See you lot either Saturday or for our next impromptu session, because the DM has class in like 5 minutes. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.